Hello and welcome to Quantitative Reasoning. My name is Matt Selba and I'll be your instructor for this semester. I'm really excited to begin this course as I've been teaching at Del Tech for a couple of years now and I've always enjoyed it. So let's go and get started. And my goal with this video is really just to show you the overall layout of our home course page on D2L, give you some awareness as to what's expected each week with your assignments, and then really to get you started with week one and get going with what we need to do. All right, so first off, you'll notice on our homepage is that I'll always leave a weekly announcement at our homepage at the beginning of each week. Typically, I send this out on Saturdays, just making you aware of what assignments are coming up and what you need to do. One of the first things that you want to do is make sure you get the student notebook, quantitative reasoning, in-class activity student pages. This is where you're going to be taking notes throughout the semester. As a reminder, this is a asynchronous course, so we do not meet we don't have scheduled meeting times. So you do want to make sure you have a notebook to keep you organized and keep you on track to make sure you're completing your assignments. I do want to mention that in case you don't want to purchase the textbook, you have two options. You could actually download the documents that we'll cover in the student notebook each week, or you could actually type electronically if you're a person who likes to use your computer. So either one is completely fine for this class. Like I said, each week I'll post weekly announcements with upcoming meeting times, assignments, and due dates. So as you can see for week one, you have your list of assignments listed here. The first one is the preview assignment 2A, which is going to be an assignment that you complete on D2L through a software called Lumen. You do not need to purchase a separate software nor log into a different website. I'll show you later on how to access that assignment on D2L. Next up, we have Ed Puzzles that you'll have to complete. You'll want to sign up for our Ed Puzzles section on edpuzzle.com. If you click on this link, that should take you right there. I'll also show you how to get there in a different way on our D2L page. You also have practice assignments to complete. So the practice assignments are meant to occur after the Ed Puzzle activities that you complete. So the flow of the course works so that you complete preview assignments typically before the in-class activity or Ed Puzzle. Then your Ed Puzzles kind of act like your notes that you would have in a traditional class. And then the practice assignments are meant for you to apply your knowledge to a new context that you haven't seen based off of what was learned in the preview and Ed Puzzles. So that's generally the flow of the course. All of these lead up to projects in this class. We don't have a lot of major summative tests like you would in a traditional class. There are unit wrap-ups and assessments, but the major driver for your learning is the projects that we'll complete throughout the semester. You also have a few quizzes for the week. Quizzes, again, are those traditional quizzes that you would have or some other activity that relies on the quiz format on D2L. The first one is the honors pledge. This is just saying I won't cheat, I won't copy or plagiarize. That can be found under the quizzes section, which I'll show you later. You also have a student information quiz. This is just to let me get to know you a little bit better. And then these two quizzes are related to what we learned in lessons 1 and 2. So again, those are also due this week. As you can see, there's a lot of mini assignments in this course. And with this being a 10-week course, everything's kind of scrunched together, and we have a lot of mini assignments to complete each week. So you definitely want to make sure you have a to-do list and you're making a to-do list of what you need to do and then kind of a goal for each day of the week to make sure you stay caught up on your work. There's one other assignment, which is the week 1 activity. That's going to kind of get you adjusted to the course, and it has some directions on how to navigate D2L as well. And then lastly, you're going to be able to begin Project 1 at the end of this week as well. So that's the announcement for this week. I'll kind of review each of those details as we go through the course in a second here. On the right-hand side, you'll find some helpful links. This will take you to our course schedule. Course schedule is very detailed, so you know exactly what you need to do each week. So again, that list of assignments that I just gave you, they're kind of represented right here, along with the Ed Puzzle activities and the preview assignment. And I do that each week just to keep you on track and so you know what you need to do. Okay. On the right-hand side, you'll also find some instructor information about me. I also listed my student hours here in case you need help with the specific assignments or a preview, practice, or project assignment or weekly assignment. You can log on to the Zoom link from 5 to 7 p.m. on Thursdays. That's my time to meet with students if they need help. So feel free to attend, and I'll be happy to help you. Okay. And then lastly, Deltec offers free tutoring for all math students. So this is a link that takes you to virtual support. In addition, they also have in-person support as well. So depending on what your preference is, you can get a lot of help for the math classes at Deltec for free. So make sure you take advantage of that. Go into the content tab just to show you around our D2L page a little bit more. On the first tab that you see here, you want to click on Start Here, and it'll show you the course information for our course. Also, you'll see instructor information, just to give you a little bit of information about myself. The course orientation video, which you're watching, the syllabus with more details. You have a video on how to complete preview and practice assignments, which I'll show you in a second here as well. The course policies and expectations. Let's go ahead and take a look there because there is some information that I think is very important. I already talked a little bit about the support hours that I'll have. For the course materials, again, your textbook, calculator is recommended. You can use the desmos.com scientific calculator if you don't want to have to purchase one. We'll have a homework platform that's included on D2L. Make sure you take advantage of Office 365. You can download it for free.
Office 365.
Sorry about that. From Deltec for free. Late work. Unless otherwise discussed with me, all preview and practice assignments are due by the posted due date. Now, there is a late pass system. If you aren't able to submit a preview or practice assignment on time, you can submit it with a 15% late penalty up until the end of the unit that we're currently on. So I have some details below for that. Returning feedback, I always try to make sure I update my gradebook weekly for you. If it's a project assignment, you can expect feedback from the due date about 2 to 3 days from the due date that it was due on. This is an online asynchronous course, so it's very important that you're actively engaged in each of the assignments. There's going to be a schedule for moving through the course, and you want to stay caught up because since this is only a 10-week course, it's very easy to fall behind quickly. Okay, so please communicate with me if there's ever an issue. An overview of the grade breakdown of the assignments. 45% of the grade will be summative in terms of a project. Unit 1 project accounts for 10%. The mid-semester and end semester both count for 45% total of this overall 45%. 15% will be summative assessments, which are like those weekly quizzes or end-of-topic wrap-up reviews. 20% will be activities or more small formative quizzes. 5% will be preview assignments, and then 15% will be the practice assignments, which I'll show you how to access here in a second. This gives you some detail as to what you're doing in these projects and these other assignments as well, just to give you an overall idea. Okay, so you want to make sure you read through that in detail. That kind of gives you everything you need to know about the course. I'll go back to the Start Here tab. Okay. All right, so next up under the Start Here tab, we did course policies and expectations. This evaluation measures will go down into that percentage breakdown of each of the grading criterias. You definitely want to click on this link that says register with Edpuzzle. This will allow you to register with the way in which you'll watch video notes and respond to specific questions throughout video lecture. So you want to make sure you click on that link. It'll take you to edpuzzle.com. When you're there, make sure you enter the code EVO-DOGGO. That's our class code. And once you do that, you'll get logged in. And you'll see assignments pop up right away for our MAT152 course. Now, if you're in the support class, there's actually other videos that you would watch for the support class as well, which I won't go into detail here until the end. But for the main class, and you'll see that they're organized by due date each week if you click on due date. Okay, so that's the game plan, and you would watch each of these videos. There's usually prompts that you respond to during the videos, and you would take notes within your notebook. Okay. Cool. So that's the Edpuzzle link to get signed up. Right. And this last thing just describes the overall learning process for this class. So again, you complete preview assignments before the in-class activities. Preview assignments build your foundational knowledge and skills before you complete an in-class activity. The in-class activities, since this will be an asynchronous course, are those Ed Puzzle activities where you watch a video lecture, take notes in your notebook, and respond to prompts. After each of those in-class activity Ed puzzles, you'll then complete a practice assignment to apply your knowledge to a different context. And then this all leads up to these projects and then end of unit, assessments that you'll complete throughout each unit. Okay, and that kind of gives you some detail below as well. So I'll go back to the Start Here tab. I think that's the last prompt in the Start Here tab before we look at the next part. Right below that, you'll have frequently asked questions. So some FAQs about the course in case you have a question about it. We'll have our semester schedule. Again, I already referenced this before. This will let you know when assignments are due and what we'll be covering each week. And you'll see that it goes all the way through week 10, which is July 19th. Okay. And then after the semester schedule, it begins with Unit 1. All right, so here's how the unit folders are broken down. I'm going to pick on the first one in which you'll have your first preview assignment because that's a good model. These ones, there's no preview assignment associated with the lesson, so I'm going to pick on 2A to start, just so you can see that where our first preview assignment occurs. Okay, so if you click on 2A preview, it'll prompt you to sign up for the Lumen course there. So you want to make sure that you confirm, to register your account. And then from there, you'll be able to access the assignment. Now, right now I'm on teacher preview mode, so it looks a little bit different from your screen. But once you begin, you'll see what the assignments are like. A lot of them are fill in the blank, drag and drop, type in your answer type of assignments that you'll respond to. And then it's typically automatically graded, so you would get feedback. So that's the preview assignments. Then going back to the folder, after the preview assignment, you'll see the in-class activity. This is the electronic document. In case you don't want to buy the textbook, you can actually type your answers right into there for your notes if you're a person who keeps their notes electronically. This is the same video lecture that you would see on Edpuzzle. It's also listed here as well. But again, you would want to access the lesson through edpuzzle.com. And you, again, make sure you sign up using our class code. And then lastly, after you're done the Edpuzzle activity, you're going to complete the practice activity. Okay, so that's the natural flow for the course as you're working your way through the modules. At the end of each unit, you'll have a project. Here's the Unit 1 project. So you want to make sure you read through the assignment and the descriptions. You're following the directions that are listed here. Make sure you're typing in your answers to this template. And then make sure you submit that template for two things. One, the first time you submit it for feedback. It's considered a rough draft. And then you have some time afterwards in which you can then submit your final draft. I believe it's a week. Don't quote me on that. Let me look at the course expectations. But I think you get a week in between submitting it on the first due date, and then for revisions in which you could update your answers after I give you feedback for a second draft. Okay, so definitely make sure you take advantage of that rough draft system that they have here. Okay, so that's the flow of the course. Again, Unit 2, 3, 4 work very similarly. And then you have an end of semester project that's related to what we were doing in Unit 4. Here, this is a good link because it breaks down the quizzes and activities that you'll have to do. There's also a better way to access all of those if you go to the top tool and go to Activities Quizzes. Okay, so we'll go through that in a second. But that's a lot of the content. Let me go to Activities Assignments so you guys can see the breakdown of assignments. So week 1, you have a week 1 activity. This will just walk you through the course and how to access certain things. So it's an assignment that you'll submit to show that you understand that. You have the Unit 1 wrap-up work, again, which is associated with what you're learning in the first few lessons. And again, that's due not until May 26th. And then the Unit 1 project is also due on the 26th as well. So again, those are the assignments that are listed there that you would have to actually submit manually, by uploading a document. Next up, I don't think there's any discussions besides the mid-semester project getting started. So we'll address that once we get closer. For quizzes, this is where you're submitting that honors pledge, the student information quiz, and then the 2 quizzes that are due this week. And then every week or so, you'll have multiple quizzes related to the lessons that are learned within each week. Okay. Last thing, you want to make sure you keep track of your grades. Each week, I'll update them every Saturday to make sure they're up to date. You'll see most of the due dates are on Sundays at midnight. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you kind of plan out your week for the following week. Okay. Now, at this point, if you are not in the support class, you can go ahead and stop the video. If you are in the support class, I'm just going to explain a little bit about what that entails. So for those of you who are in the support class, thanks for watching the video. Okay, and for those who are in the support class, we're going to go to MAT152 page. One reminder is that the weekly announcements here I'll also post for what you have to do, and they're just going to vary ever so slightly from the assignments that you have to do for the main class. Okay, just like you do for the main class, the first thing you want to do is make sure you sign up for the Edpuzzle code, as that's where a lot of our assignments will take place on Edpuzzle. Okay, but most of the other information, like instructor information, and the Zoom link for support hours and whatnot. All of those are the same as what we would have for our main page. Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at how this class is different, based off the course policies, and then what additional assignments you'd have to do, and then what we need to do for this week. So if you go to the Start Here tab for the support class page, you want to go to where it says Course Policies and Expectations. And there are a few that I want to highlight. Everything else is pretty much the same, but the few things I want to highlight, let's start with just the overall goal of the course. Okay, so this course is designed to be taken simultaneously with the main course. It supports you in developing foundational math skills, and the goal for me as your teacher in this course is to support you with the material that's in the main course. The focus during class time, which aren't scheduled meeting times, but are asynchronous times for you, is to prepare you or to help you with the assignments that you have in the main class. Okay. Please note, if this class was required for your college placement, you can't withdraw from the support class. So you are required to take it. And if you withdraw, you would also be withdrawing from MAT 152, the class that you need. Okay. So just keep that in mind. How are the assignments different? Okay. So for this class, 20% of your grade will come from the MAT 162 projects. So again, there's some overlap because some of the grades will come from the main course. Same thing with quizzes, preview, and practice assignments. The only thing that will come differently from the support class are the weekly activities. These are the additional Edpuzzle videos or weekly notebook checks that are done in order to ensure that you're moving along as you should through the support class. Okay, so that's the main difference here. You just have some additional assignments that are meant to support you as you're learning the material in MAT 152. Okay, so what are these assignments? So if you go to content and you scroll down also to the Edpuzzle link, let me see if I can find it. There we go, Edpuzzle link. Again, you're going to make sure you click on Edpuzzle. It'll take you to edpuzzle.com. This time your class code is CIBDANU, and that'll join you to the MAT 052 support class. And you'll see that you have co-requisite support activities to complete, prompts to answer, and those are your video note assignments for each week, and they're listed by due date as well for this. Now, there are some additional assignments listed here. Most of them just entail a notebook check, ensuring that you are moving through those Edpuzzles as you should be, and you would basically upload the required notebook prompt for that week. Okay, so if I click on this first one, and I'm going to have to preview it as an instructor since I'm in the instructor mode right now. Okay, for this one, for example, you're submitting just the co-requisite support activity for 3A. So you want to make sure you watch the Edpuzzle for 3A and submit that assignment. As a reminder for the Edpuzzle activities, for the rest of them, you do have prompts to respond to as you're watching the video notes as well. So do keep that in mind as you work through the course. Okay. I also have some assignments throughout the course related to the projects that you'll have to complete. For example, the My Project Plan is basically you describing your plan for the second project of the course. So again, you would want to make sure you complete that in addition to these other project prompts that help you support with help support you with those. Okay. But other than that, that's the overall layout of the support class. And again, if you ever do need help, please come into the student hours using the Zoom link here, and I'll be happy to help you. And that's from Thursdays from 5 to 7. Okay. Other than that, I don't have anything for you. Thanks so much for staying on for the video. And please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to help you. Thanks. Bye.